Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm in a little bit of a different setting today, and that's because I'm switching things up. I'm actually here to bring you a video all about how to create your very own Minnie Mouse costume. So I know Halloween is right around the corner and you probably have costume parties that you're going to be attending within the next couple of days, or maybe like in my case, an opportunity to actually dress up for work. So this is a great way to go ahead and make something quick and easy, and as always, super affordable. So I'm going to go through everything that you need, and we're going to go step by step on how to recreate this Minnie Mouse Halloween costume. So for the actual ribbon, or for the bow that she typically wears on her head, I am going to be using some ribbon here. This ribbon does have wire on it. I do have two different types. You only need one. Just make sure that your ribbon is not a mesh substance, but it has more of a consistent, smooth substance, because we will be painting white dots on this. And as I said earlier, you want to make sure that this is wired. Got this from a Dollar Tree, so this was just $1. You'll need some felt. I'm going to be using this felt to create the dots that you typically see on Minnie Mouse's skirt. This is super affordable. Each one of these sheets was only 25 cents. You can get this from your local Walmart. I would encourage you to at least have 4 sheets. You may need more depending on how long your skirt is or how many dots you actually want to have on your skirt. So consider that. So the 4 of these that I have here only equates to $1. I've got some acrylic paint, which I actually already owned, but this will only cost you $1 as well at your local Walmart or your local craft store. I am going to be using what they call Stitchery Witchery. This is the name brand. I actually got the off brand because it was cheaper. They call that Heat and Bond, but this ultimately will allow you to use your iron to connect your felt to your actual skirt, which is what we're going to be doing, and it makes it simple and easy, so no sewing required. I've got a paintbrush here, which I already owned, and some devices to put the paint into. The last thing that I had to purchase for this costume, of course, was that iconic red skirt that Minnie Mouse has. So this is the skirt that I've got here. You can see it has that A-line shape to it. It also has pleats, which gives it that whimsical Disney-like feel, which I think is really going to help bring this costume to life. I was very much in luck when I went to the thrift shop. I was able to get this for $5.02 out the door, which I was super excited about. So this one is really nice. I came home, it washed up well, it has pockets, it has a zipper. In addition to it being A-line, it also has pleats, which I think kind of gives you that flirty flair that will look great for this costume. So when you're thinking about getting a skirt, don't go and get something that you would normally wear, which would probably be something that's fitted or a pencil skirt. Go for something that may have some pleats in it, A-line, a little fuller than you would normally like. So with this skirt, it was longer than I wear my skirts, so I did go ahead and have my mom help me with folding this up on the hem, and we used this Stitchery Witchery to make sure that it was shorter and a more appropriate length for who I am and what looks good on me, because we still want the costume to look really good. So that is all that you need. Everything else you'll already have in your closet, and as we get further along in the video, of course, I will show you how to pull this whole costume together so that you look cute, but ultimately you're comfortable and you can have a great day, whether it's a costume party or you're wearing it at work. So let's jump right into the video. Alright guys, so the very first thing I'd like to tackle is the actual bow that you are going to be wearing on the top of your head. Here is the ribbon here I discussed that has that wire edge on it, so it'll kind of help us fold it and make sure the bow stands up and it's nice and strong. So this is actually a 9-foot roll. So what I'm going to do is I am going to roll out some section here and go ahead and kind of mimic how I would like to tie the bow, so that I can have a general idea of how large I would like it and how much ribbon I actually need to paint dots on. So just going to tie this around here quickly. And this doesn't have to be perfect. A looser is probably better, because you know anything beyond that will be perfect. So we can see here that this is a fairly good size. This is a costume, so you want to be a little dramatic, a little bit over the top. So knowing that all of this is going to be ribbon, I'm just going to go a little bit further with how much I'm actually going to paint dots on. So I'm going to roll just a little bit more here and go ahead and cut this at an angle. And these are fabric scissors, so that'll kind of help make the process a little bit easier. So go ahead and untie the bow that you created, and you know that this entire section will be how much ribbon you need to paint your polka dots on. So let's get in a little closer and let's get these dots on here. So first I'm going to start with putting a little bit of paint in this cupcake holder here, which will be great to throw in the trash once we're done. A little bit goes a long way with this, so you don't need a lot. And I am going to lay my ribbon side up that I actually want to be exposed. And as you can see, I have a mat covering my table, so make sure you have some protection for your table as well. Using a small brush, I'm just going to slowly freehand a dot. They never end up being perfect, but that's okay. I think the overall look still looks good, even if the dots aren't perfect. Taking my time here, making sure everything is fairly round and looks good. And I'm going to continue this process randomly all the way down the entire length of the actual ribbon. Not wanting them to be in a straight line, just kind of a dot here, a dot there, making sure that there's no specific pattern in actually applying the dots to the ribbon. Next, we're going to prepare to get our dots together. I'm using a cup here. As you can see, you're going to fit about 12 on one standard sheet of felt, and you can use either size. I actually ended up using a combination of both the bigger circle and the smaller circle. Just kind of tracing around here with a red color pencil so that I can have a great outline. The bottom of that cup is about 2.5 inch diameter and the top is about 3, just for your records. Now that I have that outline, I'm just going to take those same fabric scissors from earlier and I am going to cut around that outline to get a nice smooth circle. Clean up the edges, making sure everything is nice and round, and we've got one dot. So an alternative way is to take that same dot on a folded piece of felt and cut 2 at a time. This helps speed up the process for me, but I would not suggest cutting more than 2 at a time. And of course, when you're done, you're gonna have to clean those up because the thickness, they do come out not as smooth as the previous one. So just clean those up and make sure everything looks good for you. So I did take some fabric pins and I pinned down the fabric dots in the pattern that I would like. And I proceeded to go ahead and use some glue to glue each one down. But before that, I'm using some old wrapping paper, just stuffing tissue, to line in between the actual skirt and where I'm gluing to make sure it doesn't seep through. And I'm going around the perimeter of that with the glue and I am laying it down. And I'll continue that throughout the rest of this process, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the glue right here, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so I have got some confessions to make and some tips that are definitely going to save you time. This hem and bond tape that I use, directions on the back say, use an iron with no steam or no water, hold it on the back of your item in between the 2 pieces of fabric for 3 seconds and it will create a glue-like bond. This worked great when it was cotton to cotton, but felt to cotton did not work for these dots. I probably held it on there for 10 seconds and it did not actually ever melt. It came right up and it maintained the same strip-like structure. So that is a no-go. Put that to the side, you're not going to need that. So my second try was this Aleene's Fabric Fusion. So I've used Aleene's in the past and it's been good glue and I'm like, oh, Fabric Fusion, permanent fabric adhesive. That's got to work. But no, Aleene wasted my time with this Fabric Fusion because it absolutely did not stick. I'm pretty sure Elmer's glue would have stuck the felt dots to this skirt a lot better than this did. I proceeded to use this on the front of the skirt for all the dots. I let it dry for a couple of minutes, caught myself flipping it over so I could continue to the back. the dots fell on the floor. There was no adhesive. It definitely wasn't permanent. And I had to start over. So do not purchase this unless you just want to waste your time. So I'm not too upset with Aleene's, but she has this turbo tacky glue. I've used this for tons and tons of projects over the past couple of years. It also comes in a little pot jar that you can use if you need to scoop out a larger amount. I should have stuck with Unroll, but I was trying to be fancy. It was fabric, so I went with that other fabric glue. This is the one that you need. I was able to just put a small amount kind of around the perimeter of the actual dot, and it stuck instantly. It was perfect. I was able to redo the ones on the front, flip over, and go straight into the ones on the back. So this is what you need, Aleene's Turbo Tacky Glue. So this is the finished results with the new glue. And here you see the ribbon that we have finished painting. I'm just quickly tying this in the bow. This is a basic bow, just like tying a hair bow for little girls. Nothing too fancy. I did make it a double bow, so that means just repeating tying a bow twice. And once you're finished, I'm cutting the ends at an angle. And here you go. Everything is facing forward, the side that we actually painted the dots on. My hair is already up in 2 buns. I'm taking the very ends of the ribbon and pulling them to the back. This allows me to have a little bit extra to secure to my hair with this bobby pin, making sure everything is tucked and secure. And now I'm just kind of fluffing the ribbon out to make sure it looks good and all the dots are facing forward. I'm gonna add a little bit of this red matte lip gloss here to kind of add a finishing touch to the look. And you can't be Minnie Mouse without pearls, so I've got some pearl earrings here that I'm adding on, as well as a necklace to kind of complete the entire look. And voila, here's the finished look as far as the necklace goes. So I paired this with a long sleeve black tee. It is cooler here. Here is the skirt that we made with our dots that are still attached and still connected. And of course, some black tights that I actually end up getting from the Dollar Tree. So if you don't own tights, check your local Dollar Tree. They've got some great options here. Just another full look from head to toe. The skirt, the tights, and I paired them with some patent leather Mary Janes. Of course, I had to get in a quick selfie, but let's chat on Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter at my handle @LNaturels and on Facebook at @LNaturels. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you can use this tutorial for your next costume. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.